Hey everybody, today we are going to be drawing a rhino on our paper. First thing you need to do is make sure that your paper is turned the tall way so that you can fill up your space. And we're going to be measuring a little bit with our fingers. So I'm going to be starting about 3 fingers down from the top of my paper and making a straight line that goes across. So I'm going to come about 3 fingers down and make a line that goes straight across like that. That's going to be the top of our rhino's head. Make sure you make it big enough that the rhino's head is going to be nice and big. If you make it too short, his head won't be big enough. So if you need a measurement, we've got about 4 fingers on this side and about 4 fingers on that side. I'm going to make it just a little bit longer. There we go. All right, next I'm going to take from the corner or the end of my line and I'm going to go up at a diagonal. So I'm going to make a diagonal line going up like this. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. These are going to turn into his ears. So I'm going to start at the end of my line and go up at a diagonal. All right, we're going to bring that line back down, but this time, instead of making a straight line, we're going to make it curve. So it's going to have a nice curve to it when it comes back in. And on this side, it's going to curve down this way, just like that. Inside of this shape that we just made, we're going to put a little half circle. So straight line and then a curve. Don't fill it in yet. Remember, we don't color with our pencil or our Sharpies. And one on that side. All right, we're ready to make the front of his face. So I'm going to bring the end of this line down and it's going to make a nice big U shape and then come up to this side. So I'm going to bring it down and then back up till it matches on the other side. Our next step we're going to do is his horn, and his horn is going to sit kind of right in the middle of his face. So I'm going to start with a flat line, or I'm sorry, just a small smile curve towards the bottom here, just like this. And then I'm going to bring that up into a triangle shape. And you want to bring it up pretty high because you want his horn to be up pretty long. So I'm going to make it like about right there, and I'm going to make it go to that point. I also like to add a few little lines across there that are a little bit curved to make it look like that horn is 3-dimensional and it's kind of popping out of his face. On either side of his horn, towards the top, we're going to add his eyeballs. So I'm going to go ahead and make a nice little circle on this side with a smaller circle inside. Remember, we're not going to color those in yet. And then I'm going to make a small circle on this side and add another little circle on that side. And there's his eyeballs. And I know they look really strange right now because they're not colored in, but hold off on coloring. All right, down towards the bottom, we're going to add his snout. So we're going to start with his nostrils. We're going to do 2 small circles, one here and one just a little bit over. And then going over that, we're going to make almost what looks like the top of a heart. So it's going to start along the bottom of his face and curve around, and then stop and curve around the other one. And that's going to give him his snout. All right, now that we have his head, we're ready to start working on his body. We're going to start about halfway down his head, so right about here. And we're going to make a curved line that comes about 3 fingers from the bottom of the page. Make sure you stop about 3 fingers up. We're going to do the same thing from the other side. We're going to bring that line down, make it curve around, and stop about 3 fingers. Now we're going to take a line and we're going to go straight down or just a little bit of an angle to the bottom of your paper. Make sure you go all the way to the bottom of your paper. These lines should touch the edge. And down to the bottom. This is going to be 2 legs, so we're going to make a line right down the middle to separate it into 2 legs. And I like to give some detail lines to make it look like his little kneecaps. Just little lines for his knee. And then also adding some lines for his toes. He's going to have some really big toenails. He's a rhino, so he's going to have some big toenails. 3 toenails on that one and 3 toenails on that one. All right, we've got the front of his body. We're ready to make the back of his body. We're gonna start actually up here behind his head, and we're gonna make a rainbow curve that goes from one ear to the other. So I'm gonna start right up here and go across from one ear to the other. I'm gonna imagine where that line would go if we could see it through his ear. I'm not gonna draw it through his ear, so I'm gonna kind of imagine where it would go and start again on the other side. This line is gonna come all the way down. It's gonna kind of curve, and then when it gets to where these other feet are, it's gonna kind of straighten out and go straight down. All right, here it is on the other side. Imagine where it would go. It's gonna start right about here. It's gonna curve around, and when I get about to the ear, I'm gonna straighten it out. Since this is his back legs, we're gonna add a toe or two on these as well. So there's 1 and 2, 1 and 2. We see just part of his toes. All right, last thing I need to add to this before I'm ready to start adding some color is a tail. We're gonna keep that tail super simple because we're gonna have to cut it out. I'm gonna put just a little rectangle, and at the end of the rectangle, I'm gonna add kind of an upside down teardrop, just like that. And you could add a few little details if you wanted to. All right, friends, there is our rhino. You are ready to start adding color to him. Hope you enjoyed drawing this one, and I will see you later.